Finding those levels too. Look at that 4-punch combination.
It's a masterclass right now from Shakur Stevenson. That's what you're seeing. A masterclass. And Shakur meets him with a straight left hand.
Oh, and there's a knockdown score with the left hand.
Right now, we're gonna give him his just due. Shout out to my brother Jusdueboxing.
What's good? What's good, y'all? How y'all feeling on this late Sunday night, man? We gonna talk some boxing for a little bit, man. I seen somebody sent this video to me, so I figured we'd react to it. You know, why not? You know, shout out to the Exodus Files, man. They be putting together these long documentary type, you know, videos. And, you know, look, everybody entitled to their own opinion, their own research, content. Do you? But, man, I just think it's been way too much put into this stuff. Nah, hell no. Hell no. COE films. No, nah, hell nah. Brian Norman ain't touched dirty. And that's why we here today, because, see, we here to, like, make sense out of shit like this. And people think that when I get up here, I just be trying to defend the fighters. Nah, man, the integrity of the sport is in the balance. Anytime guys are willing to wake up and just accuse fighters of being dirty just because they feel like it. And that's what be going on. And on a large scale, like, first things first, right off the bat, I use their thumbnail. You know, I make my own thumbnail, but I use it for a reason because, see, right off the bat, you got Ryan Garcia, you got Canelo Alvarez, and then you got Brian Norman Jr. with a Vada fail in front of him. So you already creating this illusion that this guy is a dirty fighter, and that couldn't be further from the truth. You see, and that's what's wrong with boxing, man. I know everybody like to get the attention, the traction, but have some integrity about the way y'all do shit. Like, look, you know what I'm saying? This was Brian Norman Vada test results, and these was negative. You feel me? These was negative. So this is what was posted and put out publicly over the internet. And you see right there, they was enrolled. They've been tested. This man is clean. But yet and still, some reason, somehow, he's on this thumbnail with a failed Vada's, you know, kind of test sheet in front of him as if he's some type of dirty fighter. And then, of course, you got the bonus. You got the 2 bonus fighters with Devin Haney and Terrence Crawford. And them dudes ain't never popped dirty. So the truth be told, only people that should be on that in this thumbnail with fails is Ryan, because we know he had Oz3, and Canelo, because we know he had clenbuterol. Why do y'all keep doing this shit to all the fighters, bro? Get me? It's to the point where it's a personal attack. Like, I never thought this would be the case, but it's a personal attack on the Haneys. This shit is nasty work. Y'all be mad about stuff that you can't even prove. You get what I'm saying? This shit is ridiculous, bro. We gonna make it make sense. I'm gonna get to this video. I'm about to pull this video up, y'all, but I just wanted to make sure we bring everybody up to speed, man. Yeah, he is, Dank. He is. They think they got him trapped up. Vic, like, man, Vic ain't going, bro. Vic ain't going. Vic ain't going. This shit is funny, though. But shout out to everybody. Let me say what's up to the fam. My guy, Justin James. Peace, family. How you feeling, man? Always appreciate you. Banks, my homie. What's good? All things, my guy. Jamel, what it do, homie? How you feeling, bro? Good to see you in the building. Peace to the queen, Lisa, man. Always in the building, rocking out with me. Shout out to COE Films. What's good, fam? My dog, Poop, the kid being a member for 8 months, man. Appreciate you. My God, man. Shout out to the channel.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well, right. well. I already been getting these back, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Shout out to Pooh, my dog, man. Yeah. You get me trying to spin that narrative. Shelton was good with it. Never. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This video, somebody sent this to me. I reacted to one of their videos before, so I'm gonna just do that now. It was late. You know, we just do after dark. We do what we want. you know, but we just here to make it make sense. And, you know, I just like to enjoy boxing, and I feel like this little witch hunt that people are on is just nasty work. Dang, what it do, fam? Carol Cooler Blessings, family. How you feeling? I popped dirty on my side chick. Blue chews for the win. Blue chews and honey packs. Family G's, what it do? Yeah, it's nasty work, bro. And it's only so much you could be suspicious. After a while, your suspicion got to lead you to some proof, to some evidence, or you got to be quiet and just relax and just let things take its course. Like, before we even get into this video, I just got to say this. The craziest thing to me, like, I just don't get why when it pertains to certain people, like, you don't even remotely hear these kind of accusations. Like, you just don't hear this stuff. You never heard this shit about Brian Norman. So I do blame the Haneys a little bit for that shit because of the way they dealt with it. If they didn't move a certain way or demand, then nobody be saying he had nothing to hide. So they kind of created that. But I think it was just like a little boy move. They was just trying little boy, man. At the end of the day, they didn't accuse him of anything. So I don't think nobody else should either. Right? We got to be careful, man. Boxing is in a very strange place, man, where people just wake up one day and it's like, you know, we can't do that, man. We just can't do it, bro. Don, what it do, fam? How you feeling, man? What's good with it? Boxing Hacker in the building. He said Victor finally called out the imaginary lawyer, Walmart manager. Dad, man, I missed something. Norman came back clean. You get me? Yeah, that's all. That's what I'm here for. You get me, Pooh Kid, man. We can't tear down the fighters. Let's just support them. If they do something that we should call them out for, let's call them the hell out. If we have if you suspicious, be suspicious, but don't label nobody. Be responsible about it. Get what I'm saying? Push boxing forward and not narratives. We should all want to push boxing and not narratives. Get what I'm saying? Tim Layton, my dog. L-Dub, the plug, my guy. AJ in the building, man. I hope you doing well, man. Appreciate you stopping through too, man. You know, the best wishes to you, man. Tim Layton, man. Boxing. Let's get to it. Hit the like button, man. We're gonna build, man. We're gonna get to this though. We're gonna get to this. Well, let's see what they got for us today, man. Let's see what they got for us in the chamber today. Shout out to the Exodus Files, man. They be doing their thing with their little documentaries and stuff, and it's cool. You know what I mean? I respect anybody that do their research and put some good work out, but you just got to be careful, man. You know what I mean? Brian Norman shouldn't have to be subjected to bogus ass steroid claims either. Like, shut the hell up about all this Vada. Well, why he ain't do Vada? Well, he enrolled in Vada. He's a clean fighter. Let's accept him as that. And, you might not like the fact that Devin Haney puts on weight, but he's never tested positive for anything. Let that man rock. You get what I'm saying? Some people just do it the right way. You get what I'm saying? That's it. That's all. You smell me. The more cap me said, I thought I let it chop. It's not too bad, though, Kyle. It's cool down. But we're going to react to this video that somebody has sent me. Big Dog Willie, what's good, homie? How you feeling? Dang. Said Victor Body, Link Floyd. Yeah, I've been missing some stuff, man. Ace, what it do, family? But let's get to this, y'all. Let's hear this, because, you know, this is a nice little 30-minute joint. So we're going to react to it, just giving my honest reaction in real time. You know what I mean? Little Just Do at the Dark. You know what I mean? Little boxing talk at the dark. Let's get to this, though. Let me get this on up, y'all. Dr. Boxing Talk, my dog. You feel me? Let's get to it, man. We just want to give everybody a fair shake. That's all. And I don't care who or what about boxing ain't fair. I am. When I speak it, when I talk about it, I am. I try to push this shit forward, talk about what's right with boxing, man. We could spend all day complaining and shit. We could spend all day labeling fighters and talking about what you're suspicious of. You know what? Since way before we get into this, since people always talking about what they suspicious of, you know what? I'm suspicious that some of y'all might not like boxing. Yeah. Just Do is suspicious that some of y'all are casuals, you know, disguising themselves as hardcores. Yeah, that's probably something that's happening right now. Yeah, I'm suspicious that y'all really don't like boxing, that you like a good narrative more than the truth. You know what I'm saying?
And I wanted to ask is about the situation.
Bogus, bro. It's bogus. But look, we here to push boxing forward. Like I said, shout out to the Exodus Files. This is their video. We're going to react to this in real time. And I'm going to be fair and firm how I always am. Shout out to my dog, man. You know it. on a Sunday with it, man. NHA was good, man. And the sports state of the fight. Yeah. That's a fact, though. That's a fact. If they do something foul, we on their ass. If not, then just let's stop the witch hunt and let's just appreciate the fighters as the hard workers they showed us they are. But let's get to this, man. They've been on Vic helmet. Hey, Vic, they got you in the thumbnail. They got you in the video. They going crazy with Vic. Vic getting tired of y'all too, by the way, man. He said players mess up. Vic looking at y'all like players mess up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to NHA. It's a full-blown blazing red alert for me. Them clowns don't like boxing. Y'all like they baby dad. I'm telling you, bro, they like their favorite fighter, man. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. The Butcher, what he do?
With Victor Conte in the clip that recently resurfaced where Conte admitted that he knows how to pass the Vada tests.
Victor at the same time did admit he knows how to beat these tests as good as they are.
Is it possible to circumvent? Yeah, it is. You know, but the same people that know how to circumvent, like myself, the same ones that know how to capture.
One of you guys can go ahead if you want to start.
No.
Us off.
Go ahead. You got it, honey.
The floor is yours.
Well, thank you, guys.
And I get it right off the bat when he telling you he can circumvent. That just like you like, why tell us that? You know what I mean? That's why people are suspicious. So to a degree, that's his own fault. But don't let your suspicion run so wild that you be irresponsible with the things that you put out, the statements that you make about these fighters. You got dudes that spent their whole career doing shit the right way. And I just think it's nasty, disgusting work to accuse them of anything that you can't prove. That's all. That's all it's always been about for me. You can prove it, cool.
I want to start off by saying that this might piss some people off, but there are certain things that I just can't say just yet. But I am going to say some things that's going to help you kind of understand what's happening. So Conte admits that he knows how to get around Vada drug testing. So remember before I talked about back in 2010, Conte helped put Vada together. With Margaret, with Flip, with Will, with all of these different people, and I want to give you something very important to get your brain turning, so you can start to kind of think in the proper way about what is happening and what is probably going to happen. Okay, so think about this. Banned substances have to be discovered. They have to be discovered. They have to be rigorously tested. Then they are classified as prohibited or banned. And after a substance is prohibited, it can take a very long time to refine your testing protocols and to be able to detect the substance in someone's system. So, for example, the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, was established in 1999, and HGH, human growth hormone, wasn't prohibited by WADA until 2004. But the first professional fighter didn't test positive for HGH until around 2014, and that was an MMA fighter named Kong Lee, and he was associated with Snac and Victor Conte. And I saw you guys talked about that in your backward steroid case documentary, which was really good. So the first fighter didn't test positive for HGH until 2014. So it's important to note that we're talking about 10 years from the time that HGH was banned to the time an MMA fighter was actually fought. Well, now, one of the first professional boxers to test positive for HGH was, of course, Jarrell Miller. And he didn't test positive until 2019, I believe. So now you're talking about 15 years from the time HGH was banned to the time a professional boxer tested positive for HGH. And that's just one example of how long it can take for testing protocols to essentially become effective. Just think about that. Look at all of the time from when the substance is banned to later when a fighter tests positive. I mean, even think about even before a substance is banned, like before HGH is actually banned, what do you think is happening? People are using it. So before something becomes banned, people are using it because it's not something that's tested for. And so a person that is highly knowledgeable on biochemistry would really have an advantage. And it's so crazy because even THG was discovered by Dr. Catlin, who was a core member of Vada. And Catlin discovered it, I believe, in 2003. New metabolites are being discovered like in 2015.
I mean, real quick, it's kind of obvious. Obviously, if something is not banned or on a banned substance list, obviously somebody would be using it. But the point is, once it's banned, who's getting caught with it and who's on that stuff? And I don't see what the big surprise is, that the fact that the guy that quote unquote knows how to circumvent has a job in that field. I don't see why people are confused, because at that point, he could either choose to use his knowledge for good or for bad. But because once upon a time he got a checkered past that says he was on bullshit, right? It's time for it and all that. People have a hard time believing that you'll ever be anything outside of that. And I would never argue with people. Some people feel like you don't change, you are who you are. Once a dope man, always a dope man, right? That's how people feel. I'm not here to argue, but he's in a position where he can make that choice. Whether you're going to still use this, you're going to use this knowledge to try to cheat the game and do underhanded bullshit and risk going back. You know what I mean? And everything you do that you had built the right way, right? Or you could use that knowledge to actually do some good. That's the conversation that people are unwilling to have, because they think that you just saying, oh, well, you cool with him being in the sport? Nah, but you got to think, nothing has to be one way. He do have an option to use his knowledge for the better of the sport, because once upon a time he was on clear bullshit. He got caught, right? But now it's, you have a lot of people that reach out to him and get advice and get help from him, and everybody is not face the same level of scrutiny is all I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? It's like people are picking and choosing. Shout out to my guy Big Dog Willie. Said documentary is made by Associated of Canelo.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well, I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just do.
Shout out to Big Dog Will. Let's get back to it, y'all.
You have new metabolites being discovered, and even up until this day, things are being discovered and placed into testing sequences and being worked out. Even to this day, there are always new updates, always so many things changing. So with all of this being said, I want you to understand that with so many loose ends and so many moving parts and so many inconclusive factors, it could be very easy to weaponize drug testing. Because if you're privy to information in terms of biochemistry that others are not, let's say, for example, if you know the flaws of, let's say, Vada, and you know the manning constraints, and you know the financial constraints, and you know the governmental constraints, and if you know the constraints of the WADA accredited labs that they work with, well then, you could possibly use that information to your advantage. So there are always new things being discovered. I mean, it's like technology. There are always new advances. There are always new things being discovered. And anyone that sits up here and tries to tell you otherwise, or try to act as if the anti-doping agencies have just everything figured out and there are no new developments, then you should be very wary and very suspicious of that person's intentions, because honestly, I hate to say it, I hate to use profanity, but honestly, it's bullshit.
Oh, hell yeah, you don't have to apologize. Let them have it. That's how you got to talk to them. Hey,
yeah, I mean, I'm just being honest. So Brian Norman kind of put his foot down and questioned Victor Conte.
And Brian Norman name shouldn't be associated with anything foul, no PED shit, none of that. Anybody doing it, you bogus, you should be ashamed of yourself, and you bad for the sport. This man's name ain't never been connected to nothing foul until it was time to fight a certain somebody. We got to know when bullshit is bullshit and call it out. He could sit here and speculate all day about the new developments and how it's new stuff and coming out and all this and that. Fact of the matter is, as long as these guys are not using the shit that is known on the banned substance list, what are we talking about? You get what I'm saying? Like that goose chase, man. People be chasing their tails for real.
In the Haney's connection to Vada.
Victor Conte with the Vada stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah. We were talking about it.
Talk about
Devin Haney with the Victor Conte, right?
Yeah.
How is it any other testing organization we can somehow get into? Because I don't know if I can even trust them.
Right.
That's how I feel about it.
Right.
But also, since they so tight, who says they won't try to play some little games or whatever and put out some false results or anything like that? How trustworthy are y'all? So is it any other testing organization we can get into besides Vada?
Because they were pressing so hard, you know, the Haneys are pressing so hard saying, take the test, you know, sign up for Vada, do it now. So Brian Norman kind of put his foot down, but if it were me, I wouldn't kind of put my foot down. I would slam my foot down and say, no, I'm not testing through your system because I can't trust your association. I would literally say no because Conte just admitted that he knows how to beat testing, which could be a serious advantage for his sponsored fighters like Devin Haney. And I would have slammed my foot down a long time ago, honestly, because there's so much, like when you really look into all of this, there's just so many things that, again, I can't really talk about, but even to people looking in from the outside, I mean, it's...
I don't get why there are things that you can't talk about. Either you talking about it or you not. Don't dance around this shit either. I find it bullshit. The witch hunt is apparent, but when you do got information you don't want to share it, either this is what you want or this is not what you want. Are you shedding light on some shit, or are you pussyfooting around? Are you tiptoeing around and shit? Speak your mind. Get what I'm saying? If it ain't no legal situation going on, then you should be able to speak freely, right? You got all the speculation. This is what people, they cool with speculating on certain things that help them make a case. But the fact of the matter is, you can have these two fighters in this picture all you want. Neither one of these dudes have tested positive for anything. Their performances don't look abnormal. You get what I'm saying? All they keep talking about with Devin Haney is the weight situation. It is what it is at the end of the day. But PEDs, is he using banned substance? I don't think so. Matter of fact, one thing that you hear about both of these guys in the pictures, they two of the hardest workers in boxing. They say Devin Haney works extremely hard. You see this dude, when he in camp, he be shredded. Dude work his ass off. And you never seen Bud Crawford out of shape. So some of these guys, man, it's easy to try to, write them off as some type of cheat. But we really talking about some of the hardest workers in the sport. Get what I'm saying? Like, dang, if we going to do that to Bud, imagine how many people you got to do that to. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like Vada, they feel like he created Vada. I don't know when you came in here, John Wick, but
just so many things. So that was really just to provide some clarity and just to get your mind in the right place so you can start to process what is happening. And I want to go deeper, but I have to leave it there because I just can't interfere with what's going on. And I know that you guys know what I'm saying when I say that I don't want to interfere, but I don't think this is going to turn out well for certain people. I really don't think so. So yeah.
I want to say that your input there was very insightful. And I think it is very important to include the intelligent perspectives of women that are educated on this sport. I know there are a lot of women out there that are connected to boxing that have similar views as us on these very important topics, because they can also see through the BS. So y'all's input will always be valued here because it helps put the pieces together. And especially you specifically, we know you've been involved in the business of boxing for a very long time, and it's definitely good to get your educated input on that.
Oh, well, thank you. I love boxing. So yeah.
Absolutely. Now I want to add on to some of the things you said.
John Wick, that your argument might be for them. You don't hear me saying he created Vada. That's what they said. So I don't really know what you question.
And I'm also going to bring a very important piece of information into this conversation. Now, you said you don't think things are going to turn out well for certain people. And you said if you were Norman, you would put your foot down because you can't trust the association between the Haneys, Conte, and the anti-doping agency. And, you know, I said the same thing. If it was me, there ain't no way in hell I would agree to go into their testing. Because like I said, me personally, I don't trust anything that comes from the Haney side because we know things about them that goes back years and years. I mean, it is truly pathetic. Now, I'm going to briefly tell y'all something very important about the Haney.
That's the thing though, man. Like, that's where I kind of have a little bit of a problem at. Like, what is the things that's going on with the Haneys that we should know about? Like, all this tiptoeing around this shit is pissing me off. Because if they got stuff that's foul, then you should speak on it. Don't half-step it. Because other than that, you just on a witch hunt. Like, I don't know what these people be talking about. Man, and I level with the team Haney or the Haney fan base that be like, bro, this dude and his pops be getting some unnecessary hate. Y'all acting like they just cheated their way through boxing or something. If somebody got the evidence or proof that would suggest that these guys somehow didn't do it the clean way, then I think they should just come out, speak on it, or shut the hell up. Because I don't know what they talking about. You get what I'm saying? Why would you want to halfway speak on something? It's just weird. Shout out to NHA too. He said YouTube content creators, certain fan base out there investigating and trying to nab, prosecute, and sentence Conte, Dev, and Bud on the RICO. Police activity. I'm telling you, Fed activity, bro. Do homie. Say, you know, I'm not questioning. No, shout out to John Wick. Pardon me, my guy. Yeah, I'm with you. I think I don't know if he's using a voice changer. I think what you asking though is they saying that he created Vada, but he didn't. Right. That is some misinformation out there. That is. Mr. Grandy, what it do? Right, bro. No proof, just hate. I can't have that. I hate that shit, man. You an NHA hit it on the head, man. Let's keep going though, y'all.
Haney's, Conte, and the business of boxing. A little inside information. I'm going to tell you what I saw happening. When Victor Conte got out of prison and started pushing his snack nutrition company, they wanted to recruit a big name from what I saw. Obviously, if you own a supplements company or a clothing brand, things like that, you're going to want a big name. So you had names out there, big names like Mayweather, Pacquiao, Canelo Alvarez, but they couldn't catch a big name because the big names were thinking, no, your name is hot. You were convicted for steroid distribution. And somebody like Canelo Alvarez was not about to associate his name and his multi-million-dollar brand with a man that was a part of the biggest steroid drug bust in the history of professional sports.
But he still ended up popping for clenbuterol without the help of Victor Conte. So what does that say? And while we at it, Eddie Reynoso is up to how many fighters they said? 7? 7? Come on, man. Damn, bro. They keep talking about Victor and you over there, Eddie over there like it wasn't me. Whole camp full of shit. Reef, what's good with it? It's wild, bro. Yeah, this shit is wild. How you gonna use a guy that popped dirty to make your case? That's how you know this shit is nasty work. I played this shit for a reason. I'm reacting to this for a reason. I have nothing personal against nobody. I'm just pointing out the bullshit. The witch hunt. These dudes are actively out here using somebody who actively tested for something versus fighters that haven't. What the hell are we doing? That shit is ridiculous. Nobody in boxing should want to push shit like that. Nobody. If you really like boxing, you'd be like, yo, I don't trust Victor. I'm suspicious. But until I see a positive test or some type of proof, then I ain't running with it. Why we can't just that should be unanimous. I don't care who you are. Other than that, you just a damn hater, bro. Shout out to OT. OT, shout out to you, fam. I don't want to butcher your name. Shout out to you, bro. Y'all hit that like button. Let's keep building, y'all. Hit the like button for you, boy.
And he just wasn't going to do that. None of the bigger names wanted any part of that. They didn't want to be attached to that. So then you saw Victor Conte coming out, throwing shots at Canelo and throwing underhanded accusations at Canelo. And then over the years, you see several fighters associated with Canelo pop positive. And honestly, I'm going to tell you something. I was told a few years back by two executive directors, and people in boxing know who I'm talking about when I'm talking about executive directors. They sit on certain committees that I trust very much that they had real reason to believe that Canelo and his people around him were being targeted. Now, do I automatically believe that?
Man, yo, get the hell. Do you hear respect to homie and whatever information he got going on? But do you hear how convenient that is? So not only do they know how to beat every test, they got it all under control. But not only that, they can target other fighters in camps and stuff like that. So even though he just said he didn't want to connect his name to nobody that was known for being attached to, you know, one of the biggest steroid busts in sports history, didn't he just say that? So now you're telling me without being connected to him, they can target these dudes and make it so that they dirty? Man, get out of here. That shit is no proof is wild, bro. Yeah, they could do that. And I could be a millionaire. I could be a millionaire up here. I really could. I could be a millionaire. Shit, while we at it, I believe I could fly, since we just saying anything, like what it could be. It could be a whole lot of shit. But again, without the facts to back it up, without the evidence to make that claim, you just talking. Anybody could get up here and say what it could be. Yeah, Canelo could be cheating. Yeah, you could be doing this. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, Devin Haney could be cheating. Yeah, Bud Crawford could be. Anybody could be cheating. But the fact of the matter is, what do you have to prove this shit? Nothing? Then you got to relax. You get me? Or this shit sound crazy, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. I think they miss. I think, for me, bro, I deal with a case-by-case basis. I try not to place the blame unfairly towards any one direction or the other. I feel like fighters are responsible for the things that they put in their bodies. And if we all can't agree with that, then we see things differently. You don't get to put a whole bunch of shit in your body, and you have the opportunity to check things thoroughly and make sure they on the up and up, make sure everything is approved. You don't do that. Then you turn around and pop dirty and you blame everybody else when you didn't cross your T's and dot your I's. It's irresponsible of you. You get what I'm saying? You got to know what you're getting yourself into when you take any supplements. And if you don't know, then you get them shits checked so they make sure they're approved. Other than that, you're going to be here all day blaming people for what could have happened. Roland, what's good with it, bro? Cool for the conversation, y'all. I swear, it's pure spec. That's all I'm saying, Todd. Pure speculation. No proof. That's all I've been saying all to anybody that want to hear me speak. You got some proof, come talk to me, man. Other than that, you sound crazy. I'm suspicious. Well, be suspicious, bro.
True 100%. No, but I damn sure wouldn't rule it out. And from the crazy things,
we got several fighters popping dirty. We got a clean fighter versus a guy that actually tested hot before. And we got multiple guys that ain't got no reason to even suspect that they got something foul going on, and their names is being dragged in the mud. Meanwhile, you had a bunch of fighters on one card. I think it was like 4 fighters, all tested positive for something. And I ain't see none of these content creators report on none of it. None of it. It's not no coincidence. That's why I'm just pointing out people don't care about steroids. They care about the steroids if it suit a narrative against the fighter that they don't like. And right now, Terrence Bud Crawford, Devin Haney, it's on y'all. It really is. It's unfortunate, but it's on them. Right.
I've seen in this business, I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't rule anything out. And let me take a moment to be crystal clear, because I have to be crystal clear with these Haney fans and Crawford fans and Conte supporters. I have to be crystal clear with y'all because y'all play a lot of games. I'm going to say something that's going to reveal the real problem. Let me say this. Is it reasonable for y'all to be suspicious of Canelo and Ryan and anybody that pops positive for a banned substance?
Yes.
Absolutely. It's reasonable to be suspicious of somebody that pops positive. That is reasonable. But don't.
How the hell is the suspicion for the fighters that never pop louder than the ones that did pop? That's my issue, y'all. Be suspicious of whatever you want, but don't let your imagination run wild with no merit. You don't have no evidence, no reason to suggest this. Notice, bro, when we start talking about PEDs, we start talking about how it enhances performance. Notice, when you look at a Devin Haney, man, let's call this shit real. Do you see his performances looking enhanced? Hell no. Bud Crawford, they said he looked old against Majorov. Did that performance look enhanced? Nah, right? But all of a sudden, they snacked up and snacked out. I'm not trying to hear it, man. Garbage, man. These garbage-ass claims. Jay Grant was good with it, homie. Garbage-ass claims, man. All right. Y'all don't like the fact that he put on weight. Some fighters say Devin Haney putting on the weight is suspicious. I just talked to a fighter a couple of days ago. He said there's nothing suspicious about that. A lot of guys put on a lot of weight, depending on who you are and what your training regimen is. Everybody body different. Simple. Simple. They out here, when we talk about enhanced performances, we talking about guys with, don't never get tired, throw a million punches around, knocking shit out, perform shit looking abnormal, dudes' heads swelling up through the weight classes. We not seeing that shit with Devin. We not seeing it with Bud. We got to stop. Freaking, what's good with it, bro? They really bugging. Y'all bogus, man. Trying to ruin the sport. Y'all not going to ruin it for me. Just do going to make this shit make sense as much as I can. I don't know it all, but all I'm saying is I know for a fact everybody on this witch hunt ain't got no proof. If you got it, come talk to me, man.
Sit y'all ass up there and act like it is not reasonable to be suspicious of Victor Conte, Devin Haney, Crawford, and all of those other snack fighters are over there, and all of the questionable things.
Don't just say the fighters with the names. Say Bam Rodriguez, the rest of them, bro. Every last one of them. Caleb Plant, Boo Boo Andre. It ain't just no Devin Haney and Terrence Crawford. That's the part that pisses me off. Y'all don't see the selective outrage? How is it just them two fighters? Why? Because they win it? Let me guess, they win it? You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, they got to be cheating because they win it. There's no way Devin Haney. And Devin Haney performances, he's a consistent guy, bro. His performances look the same. The last couple times we've seen him in the ring, he ain't even looked all the way himself. So what we talking about? Is he's still cheating, right? What kind of steroids he on that ain't helping? What kind of steroids Bud Crawford on that got him looking old against Majorov? Come on, man. This shit is unbelievable. Meanwhile, the guy that Bud Crawford is fighting was known for knee problems, wrists, elbows, all types of shit. And then the next thing you know, he revisited the Fountain of Youth and nobody's saying nothing. Man, this boxing is wild, bro. Really. Really, man.
They have his multi-million-dollar brand with a man that was a part of the biggest steroid drug bust in the history of professional sports. I mean, he just wasn't going to do that. None of the bigger names wanted any part of that. They didn't want to be attached to that. So then you saw Victor Conte coming out, throwing shots at Canelo and throwing underhanded accusations at Canelo. And then over the years, you see several fighters associated with Canelo pop positive. And honestly, I'm going to tell you something. I was told a few years back by two executive directors.
And we got all this energy for Snack, Victor Conte, and all of them fighters, but not Eddie Reynoso and all the fighters that he's showing that actually have tested positive. Y'all don't get where I'm coming from? How is y'all suspicions louder than the people that are known cheaters? How? It's like you would have thought Ryan Garcia didn't just cheat Devin Haney. This Devin Haney and Bud Crawford shit done took a world of its own, bro. That shit loud as hell right now. Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia, fresh off a performance where he had Osterine, where my bro told y'all he seen his plug. He done seen the plug. He know for a fact Ryan is dirty. You get what I'm saying? Now this dude came back, get outboxed, dropped the outbox by Rolly, somebody that everybody was saying he was going to stop. He looked like a shell of himself. And somehow ain't nobody still suspicious of Ryan Garcia. You can't make this shit up. Meanwhile, Devin Haney didn't look all the way like himself, but we still talking snack. So what kind of snack did he take for the Ramirez fight? I'm trying to figure this shit out. I'm telling you, man, the evidence is not even there in the performances. People is grasping at straws, man.
People in boxing know who I'm talking about when I'm talking about executive directors. They sit on certain committees that I trust very much, that they had real reason to believe that Canelo and his people around him were being targeted. Now, do I automatically believe that's true 100%? No, but I damn sure wouldn't rule it out. And
so they targeting, so to Canelo and his crew, you mean the Juice crew? Because you put Oscar Valdez up there. He had fentanyl in his system or whatever the hell that was, and some other shit. Then he said he got it from T. That was found out to be a lie. There's no T on the market containing the substances that Valdez had in his system. So can we still be suspicious about Valdez, who they clearly let fight, robbed Conceição, gave him his belt, and then gave the man his statue? Jaime Munguia got knocked out, came back dirty under Eddie Reynoso. Are you suspicious about Eddie Reynoso, or do you still feel like they all being targeted? Man, get your ass out of here. It's very convenient to say Team Canelo and how Ty said they got 13 fighters connected to Reynoso and they all dirty. So they targeting them, but you not targeting snack fighters that's not testing positive, right? Man, get this shit out of here, man. Telling you, people selective.
From the crazy things I've seen in this business, I'm gonna tell you right now, I wouldn't rule anything out. And let me take a moment to be crystal clear, because I have to be crystal clear with these Haney fans and Crawford fans and Conte supporters. I have to be crystal clear with y'all, because y'all play a lot of games. I'm gonna say something that's gonna reveal the real problem. Let me say this. Is it reasonable for y'all to be suspicious of Canelo and Ryan and anybody that pops positive for a banned substance? Yes. Absolutely. It's reasonable to be suspicious of somebody that pops positive.
That makes sense. That makes sense. My bad, y'all. Let me get this back. That makes sense to be suspicious of somebody that actually tested positive. Duh. Yeah, but that's my whole point. He's making my point. You're more suspicious of the people that haven't than the ones that have. I don't get that. Am I missing something? Am I missing something? That's all I'm saying. You got people that actually had, bro. We got people that had, man. We got people that had tested positive. That's all. And there's too many of them. And the number is growing. And the more it seems like the more people try to make a case about Conte. And look, I'm not on nobody's side. I'm not coming to his aid. He do a good job at speaking for himself. But I'm speaking for these fighters that's getting dragged unnecessarily because of their connection with somebody. I understand suspicion, but I don't understand the label in the unfair jackets. I don't rock with that. I ain't rocking with it. I don't support it, and I don't rock with it. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this back.
Situation with Victor Conte.
Hold on. All right.
Executive directors, they sit on certain committees that I trust very much, that they had real reason to believe that Canelo and his people around him were being targeted. Now, do I automatically believe that's true 100%? No, but I damn sure wouldn't rule it out. And from the crazy things I've seen,
I get that. I respect what he's saying. He wouldn't rule it out. He ain't saying that's what he think, but he wouldn't rule it out. You don't rule nothing out in boxing. I mean, it's the wild, wild west, but you just don't go around labeling people or building these empty ass cases with no evidence or nothing to back your claims. That's wild behavior.
In this business, I'm gonna tell you right now, I wouldn't rule anything out. And let me take a moment to be crystal clear, because I have to be crystal clear with these Haney fans and Crawford fans and Conte supporters. I have to be crystal clear with y'all, because y'all play a lot of games. I'm gonna say something that's gonna reveal the real problem. Let me say this. Is it reasonable for y'all to be suspicious of Canelo and Ryan and anybody that pops positive for a banned substance? Absolutely, it's reasonable to be suspicious of somebody that pops positive. That is reasonable. But don't sit y'all ass up there and act like it is not reasonable to be suspicious of Victor Conte, Devin Haney, Crawford, and all of those other snack fighters are over there, and all of the questionable things they have going on with the anti-doping agencies and everything else. That is the problem when y'all sit y'all ass up there and act like none of these things can be questioned. Crawford can't be questioned. Devin Haney can't be questioned.
My thing is, I get the suspicion, but what are you questioning? What is it, just random? And you notice how many times Devin Haney and Terrence Crawford name come up when we know damn well them not the only two snack fighters. And I'm going to keep making that point till I feel like everybody understand where I'm coming from. if you're not going to align everybody and throw them in the same boat, you're just on a witch hunt and you singling people out. That's selective outrage, bro. You're not really worried about steroids, and if steroids is the issue, you worried about if you could make a case off the fighters that got the biggest names. You get what I'm saying? That's gonna get you the clicks. Yeah, no, Devin Haney should have to get dragged. Devin Haney went in the ring with a fucking cheater, bro, and we gonna do this? He went in the ring with a cheater, bro, and this is what we doing today. What we forgot? We're gonna overly speculate about what Devin Haney is doing. Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia really looked like a guy that didn't have his secret serum the last time we seen him fight. You can't make this up. Can't make this up.
The Conte can't be questioned. That's the problem when y'all act like there's not reason to be suspicious when these people's past is littered with suspicious things. So that's the problem when y'all sit y'all ass up there and act like nothing can be questioned. Ignore all of these things that are going on with the weight and all of these details that people are finding. Just ignore all of that. You can't even.
They talking about weight, bro. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. When people speak about PEDs, that's not one of the things that typically come up. It's somebody weight. You start talking about, man, what are you using steroids for to enhance that performance? Whether it's conditioning, speed, power, something. None of that is the case when you talk about Devin Haney. So you know what they do? They try to build a case on the weight that he gains over a stretch period of time. Man, that shit is ignorant, bro. That's it. So you telling me he using all this shit, this secret serum and stuff, just to cut weight and put weight back on and not enhance the performance? You can't make this up, bro. I swear. They on the only steroid.
Speak on it. And when y'all do that, and when Conte does that, when Devin Haney does that, Crawford does that, and they fans do that, that's why we're going to continue to come out here and drop these damn boulders on top of y'all here, because y'all are full of it.
And drop one damn boulder. All you doing is speculating, bro. And then you trying to build a case by using guys that have actively tested positive for steroids. Then what you're doing is using all the fighters that haven't tested positive and putting they faces in the slides. Bro had Layla Ali in the slide, bro. Like, what we doing? He had Carolyn Dubois in the slide, bro. Like, what we doing? And now we got to worry. Now we got to be suspicious about Carolyn Dubois. Like, knock it off, man. I'm not doing this. Cheaters get caught at the end of the day. That's how I look at it. And if these guys ain't getting caught, as much as you want to suspect, you can't just label somebody a cheater just because you feel like it. And that's what
y'all want to go around and suing people for their opinions and all that. Hey, be my guest. Go ahead and open it up. Be my guest. Push the button. Push the button. Like somebody's supposed to be afraid of a lawsuit and just be quiet because of y'all think y'all the only people that got attorneys? You better understand what a retainer is. So based on the things that I've seen.
Look, dude. Hey, yo, look, he got all that energy, bro. He talking, man. Y'all think y'all the only one that got lawyers? I ain't even nothing personal with dude. I don't even know who he is. I don't even care. But, bro, y'all ain't been able to make one case that either of these guys are doing anything wrong. Not one case have you made yet. And this whole time, we've been talking about 14, 15.
In this sport, I'm not ruling anything out if it makes sense, because we've already seen crazy things, because you are dealing with very suspicious people. I mean,
yeah, I seen some crazy shit too. I seen Ryan Garcia voice sound crazy in the build up and lead up to him fighting Devin Haney. I heard how crazy he sounded. Bro backed out a white horse, and then had the nerve to piss hot for Osterine. And you know what? Guess what the world did? Because they don't like Devin Haney so much, they was glad to see him get knocked down a bunch of times, even if it was against a guy that had an unfair advantage. Nobody cared. It was the most wildest shit I've ever seen. And still to this day, they actively trying so hard to convince the world that, yeah, he has to be cheating. Meanwhile, Ryan getting off scotch-free, cheated, looked like shit, got his win taken from him, got in a ring against Rolly, somebody he was supposed to beat up and stop and got beat up and looked crazy and claimed depression. Now he nursing a hand injury and he right back talking shit, and nobody gonna act like he ain't coming off a fight ago where he cheated. You can't make this shit up. I promise.
If you watch the documentary we did called The Backwards Steroid Case, you will see many issues with the Haneys and Conte, and why I will never trust anything that they put out. They could say the sky is blue, and I would disagree because they have such a horrible track record. And there's more things business-wise that spans back years that y'all don't even know. So if I was Norman, I would put my foot all the way down, Ryan Garcia and even Canelo. I can't even believe that Canelo agreed to go into their testing wheelhouse because you've already seen what happened with Devin Haney, who's a sponsored snack fighter. You saw this very strange situation between Garcia and Devin Haney, where Garcia pops positive after whooping Devin Haney's ass, and you have Devin Haney on multiple occasions gaining 25 to 30 pounds overnight. So you already have the Devin Haney situation. Then
so the only case I got against Devin is the weight. The weight, that's it. Y'all ain't got no examples of how his performance is enhanced, how he knocking people out, and he wasn't knocking people out before. Like none of this shit that you know, he ain't sitting here throwing 1,000 punches a fight. None of this stuff is he doing. Nothing about Devin Haney looks enhanced to me. I'ma just say it. Call me ignorant, call me dumb, call me naive, call me whatever you want. None about his performances look enhanced to me. It look like he's a product of hard work, and people just they can't understand how he's able to put on the weight. So they gotta feel like he gotta be doing something dirty because I can't wrap my head around it. That's still not you could feel that way all you want, but that's not enough of a reason to get online and push this narrative that they push. And I stand with the clean fighters until proven otherwise, bro. Come on, man. We all about what you can prove, not what you think, not what you feel. Come on, man. Boxing with 2-4, what it do?
You have Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields hadn't had a knockout in 7 years.
Oh my
then
God.
all of a sudden, she's sponsored by Snack, jumps up in weight 2 whole weight classes from 160 pounds all the way up to heavyweight, 175 pounds. Then she immediately explodes and gets a knockout. And she looked shocked herself when she got the knockout. Look at her face. She couldn't damn believe it. She hadn't had a knockout in 7 years. Snack becomes her sponsor. She jumps to heavyweight, then explodes to get only the 3rd stoppage in her entire career. So she joins Snacks, jumps up 15 pounds, all of a sudden gets a stoppage. And then you got Crawford, Canelo facing Crawford, another sponsored Snack fighter in Terrence Crawford, who's about to skip all of these weight classes, 3 weight classes, from 147 pounds to 154 pounds, then all the way up to 168 pounds, super middleweight, all of a sudden to fight Canelo with no problem, and now all of a sudden he's huge. I mean, he's huge. The man is looking like the damn Incredible Hulk now.
Cap. Everybody that's talking about Terrence Crawford and transformed and putting all this weight on, they all lying. Hey, man, whether or not he gonna win this fight remains to be seen, but I'm rocking with him 1,000,000%. I think he can pull it off. I know he can pull it off. If there's anybody can do it, it's Bud Crawford. These people don't really think he's cheating. They just building in their excuse because they starting to feel like we feel. You know, for the ones that feel like Terrence Crawford could pull it off, the closer they get to this fight, the louder that PED talk gonna get, bro. They just trying to soil a good fighter's name, bro. It's nasty work, bro. Mr. 3-time undisputed. Let's go, Bud, man. Tune out the haters and go.
Yeah, now they talking about he gonna knock out Canelo Alvarez, who's been at this weight for a long time, who's never been knocked out and never even been knocked down to hit the canvas. And they saying that Crawford is gonna move up and knock him out. So you have all of these examples: Devin Haney, Clarissa Shields, Terrence Crawford, and like I said in the backward steroid case, and
this man talking about one knockout, not to mention that she could have went up and been stronger at the weight. She looked a little stronger up there. It's one knockout. She ain't knock out. She act like she moved up and knocked out everybody. She got one knockout. These girls ain't on Clarissa Shields' level. Let's be honest, bro. And all this pillow fisted shit was always a lie. She can punch better than people give her credit for. She bigger, her punch heavier, and she got a knockout. Live with it, bro. Live with it. Where Devin Haney knockouts? Oh, you gonna hang around in his weight? Where Terrence Crawford? What you gonna say he was on Snack the whole time at 47? What about my Jamal? What was the Snack at for that fight? He ain't had no Snack. They killed me, man. Just knock it off, man.
Truly stand on this right here. You have these same people with Snack Victor Conte. These are the ones that are so quick to jump out, accusing everybody else and pointing fingers at everybody else. But their performances and the details of their careers look more enhanced than the people they are accusing, because they are doing things that the fighters they are accusing are not even doing. Canelo has never been verified by any commission to gain 25 to 30 pounds overnight like a Devin Haney. Canelo did not jump up 3 weight classes in one fell swoop like Terrence Crawford. It took Canelo.
Terrence Crawford didn't jump up no 3 weight classes in one fell swoop. What is he talking about? Do we think we stupid or what? Do we think we don't know what's going on? How the hell did he jump up three weight classes in one swoop? How? Let me guess. He went from 35 to 40, from 40 to 47, 47 to 54, and from 54 to 68. What do you mean 3 weight classes in one fell swoop? Nah, man. You making that shit sound better than what it is, bro. Stop. And let's not act like so many people got Terrence Crawford losing because he's jumping up all his weight. Man, what are y'all nervous that he actually can pull it off? And if he pull it off, you're going to attribute it to Snack, PDs, and Victor Conte. That shit is wild, bro. Terrence Crawford is just great, man. And it's sad that he got to jump up and take this kind of challenge for people to realize it. And instead of recognizing what he is as a talent, we like, nah, he got to be cheap, got to be juicing. Ain't no way he jumped up. He's fighting Canelo at 68. They're talking about he's going to knock him out. Yeah, he has to be cheating. Bullshit, man. Show me the proof or shut up. I mean it, man. That's it. You going to talk that shit to me? Show me the proof or shut all the way up. I'm serious.
Years to gradually and slowly move up into the higher weight classes. Ryan Garcia has not been verified by any commission to gain 25 to 30 pounds overnight, and he has never jumped up 2 and 3 weight classes like these Snack fighters that are so quick to spit on him and to throw dirt on his name.
He's using fighters that tested positive to make his case. That says everything about everything he's talking about. So you mean to tell me he think he cooking because you're trying to make a case that clean fighters are somehow dirty because you ain't got no proof, but they just, because you feel like it, you suspicious, versus a guy in Ryan Garcia that had Ostarine in his system. And the only thing he got to hang his hat on is that Devin Haney brother said, he knew, he had a dream or he's on a prayer mat. I'll give him that. But outside of that, bro, you were irresponsible. I believe my man when he said he seen you, he seen the dope, man. He seen that shit. You was in the picture with the drugs. I believe him, bro. I believe when you came back against Rolly Romero, you look like a changed fighter. You look like a totally different guy. You like a shell of yourself. And here we on Devin Haney talking about enhanced performances. This dude was fighting in spurts against Devin Haney with some shit in his system, still losing a fight. He needed some extra secret serum to get that win over Devin, and it didn't work. Came back, looked like shit, and we still like, yeah, but Devin's dirty, because he's putting on all that weight, he's putting on all that weight, but you don't got the performances that back your claim. We got a performance that look night and day for Ryan Garcia. He like a changed fighter, bro. I can't understand this shit. I'm going to always stand with the fighter. If you got the proof, I'll shut right up. If not, I'm going to keep talking my shit. Shout out to G Tatted. I appreciate this.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well, I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Mom, what's good with it? Shout out to G Tatted Up Philly, man. Appreciate you, man. Sean Haney's a child 13, 14. Yeah,
the lead sponsored Snack fighters look more in.
Terrence Crawford working out the right way. He used all his time to acclimate and get his body in the right kind of shape, but they're going to attribute everything to Snack and cheating. It's wild, bro. I hope Terrence Crawford sue one of y'all for real.
Than the people they are criticizing. That's just my uncut opinion on it. That's the way it looks. I don't give a damn what anybody says. So it appears to many people that there is some types of hidden benefits to being closely associated with Victor Conte. And I believe that somebody has figured out exactly what those benefits are. Time tells us things. Time always tells us things. And back to what I was saying, Snac is a big name, but Victor Conte to secure the top tier fight.
You know what time ain't told y'all yet? Time ain't told y'all one time that these people cheating. Y'all just think it, and that's what you feel. When you throwing out something as permanent, a label as a cheater, a juicer, a cheater, a PD, a steroid cheat, you need the evidence. You need the proof. You need more than your funky ass suspicion. Just Do Boxing After Dark is here to tell you. You need more than your suspicion. You need more than a weak ass case about how somebody gaining weight. Where's these enhanced performances that we should go look at? Devin Haney's been consistently performing a certain way throughout his career. Don't give me that Victor Conte bullshit. We're not about to attribute that man's whole entire career and all his success to Snac. I'm not doing that. Snac don't make you talented. PDs don't make you talented. Get what I'm saying? Devin Haney got to where he got to. I believe in putting in that work. Same thing with Bud Crawford. And I'm going to keep saying it in this stream. Unless you got evidence to prove otherwise, you got to shut up, chill, and sit your little suspicious ass in the corner and be mad that these are some of the most successful fighters in all of the sport. And y'all mad that they connected to Victor Conte. Still don't give you the right to drag these dudes under the bus, bro. Throw him under the bus. And I'm not jacking, bro.
Fighters, the big money fighters, the big name fighters. So they settle for the lower tier names like Devin Haney to kind of be the face of their brands. And obviously they were hoping that Devin Haney was the next Mayweather until Ryan Garcia knocked his ass into the third row. And I know somebody's going to cry, oh, I can't believe he said Crawford and Haney are lower tier fighters. Listen, don't make me deep fry y'all. Don't make me deep fry Terrence Crawford and Devin being closely associated with Victor Conte. And I believe that somebody has figured out exactly what those benefits are. Time tells us things. Time always tells us things. And back to what I was saying, Snac is a big name, but Victor Conte to secure the top tier fighters, the big money fighters, the big name fighters. So they settle for the lower tier names like Devin Haney to kind of be the face of their brands. And obviously they were hoping that Devin Haney was the next Mayweather until Ryan Garcia knocked his ass into the third row. And I know
he's making a case about a guy who actively has some shit in his system. Do he see the problem with this? You can't make a case about a guy that got cheated. Damn, y'all dislike Devin Haney that much that y'all was cool with seeing him get knocked around, even if the guy was cheating. That's nasty work. You don't like boxing, bro. It's never that deep. It's never that. I don't care how much shit he talk on Twitter. I don't care what he's saying in interviews. I don't care. I do not care how many leg tattoos y'all hated his. I don't care about none of that silly stuff. Bro, y'all have no reason to be dragging this man. Damn, bro. That's nasty work, bro. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who this guy is.
Somebody's going to cry, oh, I can't believe he said Crawford and Haney are lower tier fighters. Listen.
His argument dead. He said Crawford and Haney are lower tier fighters than Ryan Garcia. He should be done, yo. Somebody need to
don't make me deep fry, y'all. Don't make me deep fry Terrence Crawford and Devin Haney on them numbers because I will deep fry y'all. Do not make me embarrass y'all in front of everybody. Just leave it alone. So like I was saying.
Ain't no leaving it alone. Deep fry. You know, hey, bro, you notice how the other dude did all this foreplay shit and he ain't had no evidence? And it's a lot of stuff. I can't say it, y'all. I'm going to leave it right here. If you had so much shit to say, you would say it. If Buddy had some evidence that could deep fry them, he would say it. You spent all of this time with this weak-ass case showing all these fighters that never tested positive for nothing. And then you're using multiple fighters that have tested positive to make your case. I can't understand why he can't see the problem what his whole argument is about. I swear it is. I swear it is, Ty. It is. It is. It is, bro. It is.
Snac settle for these lower tier fighters as the face of their brand in terms of financials. And obviously Snac has a vested interest in pushing these guys up to the top. And that's where the real conflict of interest comes in. And that's where this thing really starts to look tricky with the association with Vada and Victor Conte. And he's texting Margaret. I mean, they're cell phone buddies. I mean, what are we doing here? It just makes no sense. So a lot of people, in their eyes, joining Snac comes with a lot of negative perception and a lot of suspicion because of Victor Conte's past. And that's just the truth of the matter. Knowing this, the Haneys joined forces with Snac anyway, and in my opinion, to stave off the criticism that came with being associated with Conte, a convicted steroid supplier, the Haneys would go out accusing other fighters of cheating, and now they're literally going around trying to strong-arm fighters like Brian Norman, Ryan Garcia, and probably any other fighter that would be considered a real threat to them. They're trying to strong-arm.
Yeah, this another one from the same channel, bro. But you right on point. They made that same video. They made that same video. This is a different one though.
To sign up for Vada, the organization that your supplements provider, a former steroid supplier, helped establish. The Haneys are very suspicious in their conflicts, very suspicious when it comes to what's going on with them and Brian Norman, very suspicious in their conflict with Ryan Garcia. And let's be clear, I will never side with the Haneys because I know their track record behind the scenes. And as for Ryan Garcia, I know Ryan has flaws. You notice they make all these accusations with no examples. He telling you he could deep fry the Haneys and Crawford, but he ain't said shit yet. Can see why some people have issues with Ryan Garcia. You know, he can be unhinged at times and sabotage himself at times. But honestly, this is how I look at it. Ryan Garcia is in my good graces because, in my view, he did boxing a service by knocking Devin Haney on his ass. Because Ryan Garcia...
I've heard it all, bro. I fucking heard it all. Nah, I'm sorry. This is not cooking. This is terrible. This shit is terrible. Did you just hear what he said? Ryan Garcia is in your good graces because you feel like he did the boxing world a service by knocking Haney on his ass. So you want Haney to be cheating and dirty so bad that you don't care if the guy that did knock him on his ass was cheating when he did it? Can't make this shit up. And don't give me that they targeted Ryan bullshit because you just said Ryan be unhinged and he self-sabotaged himself, which is exactly what he did with this Devin Haney situation.
It just makes no sense. So a lot of people, in their eyes, joining Snac comes with a lot of negative perception and a lot of suspicion because of Victor Conte's past. And that's just the truth of the matter. Knowing this, the Haneys joined forces with Snac anyway, and in my opinion, to stave off the criticism that came with being associated with Conte, a convicted steroid supplier, the Haneys would go out accusing other fighters of cheating, and now they're literally going around trying to strong-arm fighters like Brian Norman, Ryan Garcia, and probably any other fighter that would be considered a real threat to them. They're trying to strong-arm them.
And real quick, G Tatted, you always gonna see me, like, at least when I come across this type of stuff, I'm gonna always react to it because I use videos and pieces like this to show people the difference between what hate look like and what support look like. And I can't stress it enough. I understand people's suspicions. I understand these little dots that they're trying to connect, but they on a witch hunt. And with all this shit that him and the other gentleman before him had to say, they haven't had one damning piece of evidence yet that would even indicate that these dudes are remotely cheating at all. All they do keep talking about what they suspect. And the dude is literally celebrating Ryan Garcia cheating Devin Haney and beating. So, like, again, I'm just due. So I'm going to always use situations like this because I feel like to put jackets on Devin Haney and Terrence Crawford, they're not getting their just due. They're getting dragged. I do think these is two of the harder workers we got in the sport. You hear it from so many other fighters. Say Devin Haney work hard. Terrence Crawford, one of the hardest workers they ever seen work. You get what I'm saying? This shit is weird. This guy, one of the biggest haters of all time. Hey, big dog, man. You ain't never lied. Appreciate the support.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well, I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your
just too. Get the word they say new Ryan was on something because it wasn't no testing for the fight. Yeah. Video reaction. Yeah. Nah, yeah. I did. I got one. I did it. I reacted to that one too, bro. I did it. It's on the channel. If you look, it's up there. I think I used a thumbnail for that one too. I did the Haney deception one. I did a lot. It was a good stream too. We had a good
sign up for Vada, the organization that's your supplements provider, a former steroid supplier, helped establish. The Haneys are very suspicious in their conflicts, very suspicious when it comes to what's going on with them and Brian Norman, very suspicious in their conflict with Ryan Garcia. And let's be clear, I will never side with the Haneys because I know their track record behind the scenes. And as for Ryan Garcia, I know Ryan has flaws. You know, I can see why some people have issues with Ryan Garcia. You know, he can be unhinged at times and sabotage himself at times. But honestly, this is how I look at it. Ryan Garcia is in my good graces because, in my view, he did boxing a service by knocking Devin Haney on his ass. Because Ryan Garcia accomplished two things in his conflict with.
So you telling me cheating, and arguably changing a fighter's career is okay. That's how you get your good graces. I would hate to be in his good graces. I gotta do shit like that. Like, my thing is, they can't tell you nothing about these guys that would let us all know that they're cheating. And all I hear is personal attacks. Y'all might don't like the way Bill carry it behind the scenes. I don't know what y'all issues is with Bill. He don't piss me off. I find him to be entertaining. That shit is not that serious, bro. He ain't doing nothing different than any of these other idiots, man. He just guiding his son, and they on a journey together. They having fun doing this shit. It's not that deep, bro. It is not worth dragging the man down. So, nah, I stand with Devin Haney because I don't believe he's cheating. Yeah, the weight thing might be a bit of a mystery to y'all, but we don't get to keep doing that shit, bro. Nah, and Ryan, you bogus as hell. You Osterine fiend, bro. You bogus, man.
Devin Haney when he beat him from pillar to post at the Barclays Center. He managed to expose Devin Haney inside the ring, and he also inadvertently exposed the Haneys outside the ring, because the whole Osterine debacle ironically brought out all types of information about the Haneys and their questionable past and their suspicious behavior, especially concerning weight and their association with Victor Conte. A lot more people became aware.
Yeah, there go that word real quick. It's nothing to disagree with that I said. See, you're making a separate point. You're confusing the style in which Haney fought, or the his approach to the fight. I'm not talking about that. Regardless of his approach, whether it was the right approach or the wrong approach, Ryan Garcia had Osterine. So that taints whatever it is that Haney did. Now, I won't say, the Osterine led to how the 12 rounds played out. That's a separate conversation or discussion. What I'm simply saying is the win or that fight will always have an asterisk, and it will always be tainted, is because one guy had an unfair advantage. Don't mistake the two. R. Stokes, what it do, homie? You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't much to disagree with about what I said. What I said is factual. This guy cheated, and nobody should be applauding him cheating Ryan Garcia. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? It taints the win. So
Ryan Garcia did boxing a service, and for that, we gonna support him. But one thing about Ryan Garcia is that sometimes he will sabotage himself and let the Haneys win their narrative battle. And this is the type of thing that pisses me off about Ryan Garcia.
This is the kind of thing that pisses me off. My bad, y'all. Let me try to let it play through. Let me pull this back up real quick. Said, bro, cheated, bro. Good, what's good with it, bro? He said, y'all picking Haney versus Norman, man. Haney got to show me that he's still him. You get me? He's still all the way Devin Haney. If he is, that's a 50-50 fight. May the best man win. But if I had to go off the last guy I seen in the ring, I think based on what I seen the last time from Devin, the fight with Brian Norman is a bit tougher because of that, right? Less offense, no presence of a jab, no consistent jab, excessive moving. That approach has to be a bit altered for the Brian Norman fight, in my opinion, for him to have the kind of success he's gonna be looking to have. He got to get back to Devin Haney, that jab, that right hand, the body shots, the good movement, taking chances, standing his ground. You get what I'm saying? Shit like that. And if he's doing those things, then he's typical Devin Haney. I could see things looking good for him, but he has to get back all the way to where he once was. And that could arguably be a bit of a challenge.
In the clip that recently resurfaced where Conte admitted that he knows how to pass the Vada tests.
Victor, at the same time, did admit he knows how to beat these tests as good as they are.
Is it possible to circumvent? Yeah, it is. You know, but the same people that know how to circumvent, like myself, the same ones that know how to catch them.
One of you guys can go ahead if you want to.
Get this back up there.
Inside the ring, Ryan got to.
All right, here we go.
We're going to support him. But one thing about Ryan Garcia is that sometimes he will sabotage himself and let the Haneys win their narrative battle. And this is the type of thing that pisses me off about Ryan Garcia sometimes, because Ryan is great for boxing because he has the fighting style and he got the natural charisma to match. But Ryan sometimes will sabotage himself, and he sometimes lets people get over on him outside the ring. Ryan got to understand these people are not your friends. The Haneys are not your friend. You cannot trust anything. You cannot be friendly with these guys. You cannot. You need to be watching the water you drink. You need to be watching everything. You need to be watching everything, because I don't trust anything. Nothing.
Nah, these are all baseless accusations. You don't trust nothing. Watch your water. Whole time, Ryan the one that took the tainted supplements, as he said, right?
And that's one difference between Gervonta and Ryan. Gervonta don't trust a damn thing. Somebody like Haney, you can't call Gervonta and apologize because he don't want to hear that shit. With Ryan, you could call him and apologize, and Ryan might be like, you know what, don't worry about it, dog. Don't worry about it. Ryan got to tighten up because you cannot trust these people. But the Haneys and this drug testing stuff with Victor Conte, I don't trust anything about it. And I have to make a clear distinction here because a lot of people are trying to make comparisons that don't even make any sense. I need everybody to pay attention. There ain't nothing wrong with advocating for clean boxing. Nothing. If fighters want to request testing for their fights, I see nothing wrong with that. The problem with the Haneys is this very thing I'm about to say right here. They are in a very suspicious position. To be clear, Devin Haney is sponsored by Victor Conte, who was convicted for supplying hardcore steroids to dozens of professional athletes. One of Conte's main bragging points was that he knew how to make the steroids undetectable. This same former steroid supplier is also caught on tape talking like he is the CEO of Vada, as he was helping put the anti-doping agency together back in 2010.
So, and it's called Vada. And Vada, V-A-D-A, stands for Voluntary Anti-Doping Agency. We've been working on this since September of last year. And we hope to implement in the near future.
Conte is also on camera admitting that he knows how to beat the Vada testing system.
Is it possible to circumvent? Yeah, it is. You know, but the same people that know how to circumvent, like myself, the same ones that know how to catch it.
Vada is the same agency that the Haneys are trying to strong arm people like Brian Norman into testing with. This situation is completely unique to the Haneys. And to clarify even further, this situation between the Haneys and the Normans is disgusting. Just to simplify what happened, I'm going to simplify this for you. Number one, early July, Devin Haney and Brian Norman agreed to fight in November. Number two, Haney and Norman agreed to 8 weeks of Vada testing. Number three, a few weeks passed and the Haneys changed their mind and demand that Brian Norman doubles the amount of testing from 8 weeks to 16 weeks of Vada testing. Number 4, Norman agrees again. Number 5, the Haneys changed their mind again and demand 18 weeks of Vada testing. This is complete madness, and it's disgusting, and it does not compare to anything we have seen in the past, so stop making these dumbass comparisons. This is the type of work that the Haneys participate in, and like I say, y'all don't know it, but this type of behavior has been seen from the Haneys behind the scenes for years. Your supplements provider that sponsors you and has a vested interest in your success is a former steroid supplier that admitted he knows how to beat the tests of the drug testing agency you are trying to force your opponents to submit to. This is complete madness. This is a complete conflict of interest. There has never been anything like this. And for the foolish Haney fans that are supporting this type of madness, I should drop an anvil right on top of your head right now about the Haneys. But like I said, I'm trying to leave these guys just a little bit of dignity because I don't even want to be out here doing this. I'm grounded and I'm rooted in my view on the Haneys because my view on the Haneys is strictly based on
this about clean boxing and about what's right? So won't you just drop an anvil on their head? You know why ain't nobody dropping none of these anvils and all this shit that they talking about? Because they don't have one. That shit sound good. Like y'all got something hidden, like you got some dirt on them that's gonna change the landscape for them. Nah, no, you don't. You just selling whoop tickets just like the rest of these guys. Baseless ass claims with nothing to back it up. No evidence, no proof, no nothing. Not a shred of it. Just speculation and hypothetical shit. Yeah, ain't no damn anvil. Who he think it would he do? You know what I'm saying?
Behavior pertaining to the business of boxing and the negative effects that they've had on this sport. I don't give a damn about who they are personally. My perspective on the Haneys does not change because I done put their ass in the category they're in after careful consideration and years of repeated behavior in this business. So you won't see me switching sides and changing positions because they've shown me time and time again exactly who they are. And that's exactly why I told you many times, I don't believe anything that come out of a Haney mouth. Not a Bill Haney, not a Devin Haney, not a Sean Haney, not a Aunt Haney, not a Uncle Haney, not no damn Haney. Then after all this chaos they done created all these years, they want to parade.
I stand with the Haneys, man. He tripping. Haneys ain't garbage, bro. Everybody got ways about him. None of these dudes are perfect. I wasn't a fan of the demanding of the drug testing and none of that stuff neither. So I'm with you there, but that still don't give you the right to accuse them of drugs. You know what I'm saying? Of being dirty fighters. That's not enough.
Around and throwing lawsuits at people and suing people for their opinion, suing people for this, suing people for that. I tell you what, and to mess around and sue the wrong people, it's going to be the wrong move. Tell time it'll be a bad move.
That's a bad move.
I don't believe a word they say. And just so you know, it ain't just Bill Haney, it's Devin Haney also, both their asses. I could drop an anvil on your head about Devin Haney behavior behind the scenes as well. I really could. So when Devin Haney sits his ass up there on a stool talking about Boots Ennis didn't want to fight him at 147, trying to paint a picture like Boots ducked him, I can't hear a damn thing Devin Haney says. I can't hear nothing that comes out of his mouth. And he gonna sit his ass up there talking about why would he fight Boots at 152 if he ain't even fought at 147 yet. Yeah, you right. You haven't fought at 147 yet because you've been too busy fighting at 165. With all this damn excessive weight gain you done had going on working with Victor Conte gaining 25, 30 pounds overnight to get an advantage over all your opponents. You shouldn't have a problem fighting at 152 because your oversized ass done already been fighting at 165. So what's the problem?
And I wanted to add something there too about Conte and Devin Haney gaining 25 to 30 pounds overnight, because a lot of people they're going around saying that it's normal.
He right about the weight stuff, But we all know that with Devin, but he hasn't been able to make one case as to how any of this is cheating. It's just purely speculative. Like he hasn't stated one, you know, yeah, he's saying certain facts, but the whole reason they here is because he supposedly had his anvil that he can tell you about Devin Haney. And notice, I can tell you about his behavior behind the scenes. You talking about behavior, bro? We talking about the fights. Ain't you talking about? We talking about Snack and PEDs? Like, what's going on? These dudes don't know what they want to complain about. Y'all, let me find out y'all mad at Devin Haney because y'all don't like his personality that bad. Like, it ain't that deep for me. I'm rooting for him, man. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him to get back to 100% Devin Haney. I want to see a great fight in November.
Normal in boxing to gain that much weight, but that's just more misinformation. It's not normal in boxing to gain 25 to 30 pounds overnight because, for example, in 2022, California hosted six times more boxing events than Nevada. You know, they were hosting a lot of events, pro and amateur events, and you're talking dozens and dozens of fighters. Out of that entire year, and after hosting dozens and dozens of fighters, only 10 boxers even came close to rehydrating 25 to 30 pounds. And this is according to the California State Athletic Commission themselves. So that narrative is completely false. So yeah, that's all I wanted to add there.
So it just lets you know that he's not the only one that's rehydrating that much. Again, more selective outrage. Y'all pointing out, you just said it's what, 9 or 10 fighters that rehydrate that much. So what point are you trying to make? Are you making more of a case for Devin? He's not the only one that do it. He's just the only one that's been ridiculed and scrutinized for doing it. VR, what's good with it, fam? Man, this is crazy, bro. Crazy work, y'all.
Can go ahead and close us out from there if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close us out. And I'm glad you mentioned that. And see, this is the type of nonsense that I'm talking about. You know, the Haney fans going around spreading misinformation like it's normal in boxing to gain 25 to 30 pounds overnight in boxing.
Hell no,
and we ain't saying it don't happen, but it damn sure ain't normal. Devin Haney has been verified on more than one occasion to gain excessive amounts of weights. Playing all these weight games trying to get an advantage. Then when Ryan Garcia knock your damn jawbone sideways, you want to cry and complain about 3 measly ass pounds that you got paid for and you said didn't even matter out of your own mouth. Crying about 3 pounds when you've been rehydrating 25 pounds, having an advantage on all these small little punches.
Wow, we're going to talk about the 3 pounds and not the Osterine. Is wow, bro.
Stop playing. And that's exactly why I said Ryan Garcia knocked the snack out of his ass, because that's probably why we saw Devin Haney had stains all on his ass when Ryan Garcia hit him with that left hook, because we didn't see any stains until Ryan hit his ass with that hook. It was probably the snack coming right out of him. So yeah, we support Ryan Garcia over here because he did boxing a favor when he whacked Devin Haney. That's why it brought me great laughter when Ryan Garcia posted that picture of himself holding Devin Haney as a baby. Great laughter. So yeah, we support Garcia over here. He's good over here. And I was
you telling me the Osterine fiend is good over there. But Devin Haney,
say this last thing. You Haney supporters should be glad because, like I said, I could drop an anvil right on top of y'all head now and have y'all all looking like damn fools. And I could take this all the way back to when Devin was fighting on Showbox. Yeah, they know what I'm talking about. Y'all don't, but they do. I could expose even with the promoters. The promoters don't really come out and say nothing, but they know what's going on with these guys. I should do it just to expose all y'all fans because y'all lie just as bad as the Haneys do. But like I say, I'm trying to leave these guys just a little bit of dignity. I do not want to be out here.
This man spent 20 minutes still talking about he gonna try to leave him dignity. Why? Why? Ain't it about exposing cheaters, man?
But you know what? Y'all brought me out here. So you can call me the chef. That's my name to y'all, chef. Because anytime I see fit, I'm going to make a phone call and I'm going to deep fry you. All of you. Because y'all all have a practice of blatantly lying on people just like the Haneys. And for the people that don't know what I'm talking about, go watch our documentary, The Backward Steroid Case. If you want to see how the Haneys and their fans just blatantly lie on people, go watch that documentary, because they just added another fighter into the lie as well without going into the details. Just complete misinformation. So if you want to see some nonsense, if you want to see lies, hypocrisy, and suspicious behavior, go watch The Backward Steroid Case on the Exodus Files channel and see what they did to Ryan and Canelo and these other fighters. If you want to see how the Haneys and Conte operate, go put your attention on The Backward Steroid Case documentary. It's a damn shame.
Yeah, we're going to react to that one tomorrow. Backward Steroid Case, yeah. Shout out to the Exodus Files, man. I mean, look, it's never personal. They do their thing. They came up with their own research. They got a stance. Their stance is exposing the Haneys and apparently Bud Crawford and anything connected to Victor Conte and Snack. But at the end of the day, we just listened to all of that, and he kept talking about this anvil that he should drop. He should drop on a Haney supporter. Blah. His ass cap, y'all. His ass cap. He didn't have no anvil. If he did, he should have spoke on it. It's about information and putting the right info out there. If they doing underhanded shit in the sport, then exposing them shouldn't be a bad thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you know about them cheating, and then you halfway talking about it ain't helping nobody. You know what I'm saying? So that was wild, man. I think, yeah, he said Buck Dance. If views, a lot of guys get hate, but not like this, man. I'm seeing hit pieces on Haney and Crawford lately. Yeah, from what good is a theory. If it can't be proven, that's real shit, Ty. Real shit. And that's pretty much what they did. He gave a bunch of speculation and feelings and how he feel about how they move and what they do. And he feels like, you know, that gaining weight, that's not normal. So you got to be cheating boxing because you're able to put on all of this weight, Devin Haney. There's no reason why you should be able to put on all this weight for Snack. You get what I'm saying? Snack is helping you out. Man, get y'all asses out there. Devin Haney is a skillful fucking fighter, bro. That's really what's going on, bro. Devin Haney's a skillful fighter. I'm not ashamed to say that shit. I'm not a hater where I can't say that. That's what's going on. That's really what it is, bro. At the end of the day, the bro got skills, man. Bro got skills, man. If you don't believe me, listen to another guy, man. And Chris LJ. What Chris say about that, man?
I know. Ever since the Ryan fight, and then obviously the Jose Ramirez fight, he's getting a lot of flack. He's still one of the most tactical boxing IQ technicians in the game. He's still got a great jab, he's still got great feet, he's got great conditioning. I think it's an interesting matchup because if you look at Norman's last 3 fights, he fought guys that were going to be there, going to trade him, going to get hit. And he's not going to do that. So it's an interesting matchup. I want to see how these guys clash and who can be the boss on fight night. Because whoever decides to fight their fight or can make the other guy fight their fight's going to win.
Good breakdown, Chris. You see? Man, Chris, you don't hear Chris talking about, yeah, man, the only reason Haney is good is because of Snack. Yeah, Victor Conte. And he boxed. So it's easy for these sideline reporters, these people that don't box, that's not in the sport, to be talking all this conspiracy shit and how you know about how they act behind the scenes and all the stuff they do and accusing people of this and X, Y, and Z. At the end of the day, the weight that he put on is going to continue to be a mystery to some people. Y'all don't know how he's able to do it. Cool. I've heard other boxers question it. I've heard some fighters not question it. At the end of the day, if they're allowing them to put on the weight and they're not penalizing them for it, how could we say it's cheating if they not saying it's cheating? They're allowing it to happen. So I'm not going to trip out. I'm gonna still be waiting for this anvil, y'all. I want to see this alleged anvil that he got to drop on people's heads, and I just don't see it, bro. Hell yeah. Devin Haney did look like a skeleton on the scale. That's why who's to say putting on all that weight that fast is necessarily helping. If you see how emaciated he be looking on the scale. So him looking that way on the scale is because he doing shit the right way to me. Killing himself to do it. Even against his best interest, looking like that and still doing it. He didn't drop not one bomb, Sonny, because he wasn't able to prove none of the shit he started out saying. His thing was to prove that they're cheating, that they're not doing stuff right, that Snack is somehow the unfair advantage. This dude, if you telling me a guy that just dropped bombs, this is the same dude that used guys that pop hot for steroids to make his case against other guys that never tested positive. This shit, I can't stress that enough. That's ridiculous. He was saying some stuff that, you know, you can take heed to, but I don't feel like he said nothing. I didn't walk away from this piece learning anything different. He didn't drop no bombs. He didn't drop no anvil. I find it too convenient that both of the guys that they allowed to speak in this video was both claiming to do the same thing. Expose and drop bombs and anvils and they had knowledge, but they ain't let it be known. At the end of the day, what we could prove is that Devin Haney is one of the top fighters in the sport. What we know they can't prove is that he's cheating. You know what I mean? I don't. He said necessarily about PDs. It's a scary Floyd tactic. I don't get what you mean. I care about it because they're trying to say that everybody in relation to Snack or in connection to Snack or Victor Conte is dirty, and nothing he said would even indicate that. Nothing he said. They put a whole bunch of fighters, and notice they put a whole bunch of fighters that ain't test pot. Clarissa Shields, Carolyn Dubois, Layla Ali, Terrence Crawford, Devin Haney. But then when he showed Oscar Valdez, Canelo Alvarez, and Ryan Garcia is in his good graces, and all of those dudes was good, and they all tested. Do you see my issue with that idiot? Come on, man. He just talking, bro. He's just trying to see who he can get to listen to him, man. So my final verdict, yo, I stand where I always stood. They haven't been able to prove any fucking thing. They just grasping at straws. They grasping at straws. They don't have no evidence of nothing Devin Haney did or nothing Bill Haney did, because I ain't gonna spend 20 minutes dancing around the main subject matter. If I know some shit about you that I feel like could expose you or should expose you because y'all some cheats in boxing, then I'm gonna expose you. I'm not keeping it to myself. I'm not gonna get on nobody's platform and fake cook nobody. You get me? He said this raps was foul. The other shit comes from Floyd ducking Manny for years. Shout out to Sonny, bro. Do you really think Floyd ducked Manny for years, or you don't think it was Manny ducking the drug testing that he eventually took all these years later? Floyd told the man to take Olympic-style drug testing. He said he was scared of needles, but he got multiple tattoos. You have to make that make sense. Other than that, you cannot never say Floyd was ducking him. All he had to do was take the Olympic-style drug testing that he eventually took all the years later when they fought. What changed? What changed? If Floyd was scared of him and ducking him all them years ago, why would he fight him? Because Floyd older than him, so why would Floyd still fight him? You get what I'm saying? Don't make a lot of sense, do it? The man said he was scared of needles, but he got multiple tattoos. That's all he had to do. That's all he had to do was take that test. Floyd, I'll say this, man. It's people that said, from 108 to where Manny is now, his head got bigger and all that. Floyd just felt like he always knew something was up with him. He took the Olympic style drug testing. He made excuses for that shit, all types of stuff. He did it. He got beat, and they still talking about Floyd ducked him years ago. Floyd ain't ducked no Manny. Manny couldn't beat Floyd. Manny made too many mistakes, bro. Manny made too many mistakes to me. Made too many mistakes. And the shit that Floyd did, like, think about it. This is the same dude that got outboxed by, who was that? Eric Morales? Nobody that let Eric Morales outbox him is beating Floyd to me, in my opinion. Shout out to Jose Diaz. What's good, homie? Right, that Manny Pacquiao with a record of him having some former drug screening, he didn't win, and that's a fact. And shout out to Manny, but you know, his career got started off some controversy and some foul play. Manny's career started when they gave him the win over Nadal Hussein. They gave him the win over Nadal Hussein all them years ago. Gave Manny a knockout win. Manny got hurt in that fight. He got dropped. Everything. He was getting his ass kicked, and they cheated. Nadal Hussein gave Manny the win. And you know, that birthed Manny Pacquiao. And the referee came out all them years ago, and it admitted to cheating for Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. He said Floyd knew what he was doing. Nah, think about it, Roland. They got to adhere to the same testing, bro. Olympic-style drug testing. Just think about that. If it's good for the Olympics, it's good for them. It's the reason why he said that stuff. Floyd, it didn't weaken them. Like, think about it. When you watch that fight, do you feel like that fight was won or lost because of drug testing? Floyd just was way better. He just better. Smarter fighter than Manny. Manny, best chance was to try to overwhelm Floyd or knock him out. I just don't think he would have done it. I don't. Yeah, Floyd proved it. Yo, he proved it. And he older. That's what I'm saying. Facts, Jose. They had to take the same test, bro. It ain't about to affect Manny so much drastically than it did Floyd. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that shit just was the excuse that he used. You know what I'm saying? And think about it. Why wait all of these years just to take the test instead of taking that same test when you was younger? You would have had a better shot, don't you think? You know? Nah, what you call crying? What? See, you're not paying attention, bro. Why didn't he just take the drug test? Why did he eventually take it? Like, imagine making an excuse for something. He eventually took it. Why did he take it all these years later instead of when he was younger? Come on, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, Manny ain't better than no damn Floyd Mayweather. Manny been knocked out multiple times to the body, slept to getting knocked out by Juan Manuel Marquez. Come on, man. That ain't even a debate who's the better fighter. To me. But he's not better than Manny. Yeah, nah, I respect it, but I don't see how you can say that. Manny got what, like 7, 8 losses, bro? You're not gonna tell me somebody with 7, 8 losses is better than a guy. And it ain't even about him being undefeated, but it's 7, 8 losses. Multiple times knocked out to the body, to the head. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's tough to. And then when they fought, Floyd beat him. How could you be better than somebody when you fought? You lost to him, then you lost to other guys that he beat. Floyd cooked Marquez. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know, just different, man. You just like what you like, though. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. He's a bad man. And he's a bad man, but he ain't better than Floyd to me ever. And no scenario would I ever think that he's better than Floyd. But let's keep going, man. So overall, y'all, they didn't prove anything tonight. They didn't prove that Haney's did anything foul. They just talking. Yeah, excuses. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, Reef is wild. So at the end of the day, if I'm Haney, I just keep doing what you're doing. Keep being clean. Keep putting out the, hard work, clean drug tests, and keep doing what you do. I'm going to run through this other stuff kind of quick. Something I wanted to touch on. Hit that like button, man, if y'all haven't. Norman stops Haney. Rozier was good. It could happen. It definitely could happen. Norman is punching for real. But something else I seen too, man. Let's talk about it real quick, real brief. Dmitry Bivol, man, y'all bogus. Y'all gotta put some respect on his name, bro. His last 2 fights was better beef. His last 2 fights was better beef. He arguably beat him both times, depending on who you talk to. I get it. People wanted to see a trilogy, all that stuff, but to question that this man really is injured or not is nasty work. This man didn't never duck nobody in his entire career. Not only did he get in there and fight better beef, he went in there and did it a second time around after not getting a nod the first time. We got to stop doing this. Now y'all questioning if his back really hurt. Come on, man. This dude been kicking ass for a long time at a high level. Do y'all remember the video of his wife, you know, talking about all the injuries and different things that was wrong with him before the Canelo fight? Do you remember her openly rooting for Canelo and trying to expose Bivol for all the different things that was wrong with him? And that was fights ago. That was multiple fights ago. Think about when he fought Canelo and think about how many fights he had since then. Think about his last 3-4 fights. 2 of them shits was better be back to back. He a damn warrior, bro. He ain't got to fake no injury to get out of the fight. Y'all be thinking crazy, man. I'm telling you, only soft ass people be pushing shit like that. He fought him twice. What's one more time gonna hurt? 2 cents. What's good with it, bro? You telling me you gonna be scared? Y'all don't even make sense. They fought for 24 rounds. What's to be scared of? Did he look scared either of the times he got in the ring? People be just saying anything, bro. Yeah, I think he beat him both times. To be honest. Hesitation fighting Benavidez. But you gotta be healthy for that. He know that. You know what I'm saying? Think he ain't getting in there at half-ass. Greg, what it do? God give him the benefit of the doubt, because all he showed you is that he'll get in there and fight. That's all I'm saying. But Will, when something suits your narrative, you'll push it. But Bivol is scared of a guy. Imagine selling to the world a guy scared of another fighter that he spent 24 rounds in the ring with. 24. Remember, he the only one of Bivol opponents or better Bivol opponents not to get knocked out. He the only one. Neither time. He didn't come close to getting knocked out. Dropped and none of that. Why would he be scared? That man ain't scared of shit. He beat Canelo ass and he went in there and dethroned better Beef as well, bro. Gotta get that nigga. I gotta get that man a lot more respect. Pardon me, y'all. I didn't mean to say that. Gotta get that dude a lot more respect, man. Gotta get this dude a lot more respect. He deserve it, bro. Oh, and for anybody that didn't know, Brian Norman Jr. is clean. Kill all that noise. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. And lastly, y'all, I wanted to bring this up before we jet it. Core and Teofimo been going at it. Yeah, man, my bad. Yeah, I had a quick slip. My bad. Players mess up. Them Russians, yeah, they don't do scared. That's a fact. People that's fighting to do, that's it. Yeah. So look, Shakur and Teo been going back and forth, man. It's been some talk. Different people reporting. They feel like this fight really gonna happen. I think Teo, when it's all said and done, he gonna do the shit he been doing. Talk a good one and don't fight. We've seen him step it up in the past, but this will be him stepping out of his character if he fought a guy like Shakur, a challenge like Shakur. I could respect it. Said he smack him at the press conference, he wrong. I definitely don't want to see no slapping at the press conference, because then we might not get a fight. And I don't know, Core, man. The last person slapped Teo, man, or put their hands on Teo. Teo slapped him, put handprints on him. I don't know, don't get caught slipping. Nah, but look, with all the with the my bad. My bad, John. I told you to just do after dark. My bad, John. I put LDTV blesses, Brody. But look, I don't want to see no slapping at the press conference only because I want to see a fight. If this fight could come to fruition, I think it's a real challenge for both. I think Teo will be the best fighter that Shakur been in the ring with, and vice versa. I think the contrasting styles will lead to a fun fight on both sides. It's something that I could get behind. It'll be a different challenge for Core, but I got a couple different reasons why I think it won't happen. Before I even get to if Teo will take the fight or not, starting with if Core go up, do that mean he up permanently at 140, or do you come back down to 35, right? The title down there, right? Do you do that, or do you just say, you know what, let me try to make the best fight that I could at 35 and say the hell with Teo, because Teo really ain't gonna fight me no way, because that's what I could see. You know what I'm saying? I would be thoroughly surprised if Teofimo actually wanted to share the ring with Shakur. You heard him. That I don't think so either, Roja. Same thing I'm saying pretty much. I don't think he's leaving right now because I think you go up, you might stay up now. I think he can come back down because it'll be a one-off, but I just don't see him leaving the division. So notice how real I am. I said before we even get to if Teo will take the fight, I just think it's when he sit down and really think about it, he still got some work to do at 35. But at the same token, somebody got to call his bluff shit. You know what I mean? I think he'll be willing to fight Teo, though. I do. For some reason, I really do, but I just don't see it. Teo gonna try to pick and choose. He gonna sit around till he see an opportunity where he could go fight somebody that he feels comfortable that he can beat. I don't think, based on what we've seen from him in the ring, the styles of fighters that he Thrill Hill was good with it, bro. The style of fighters that he fight. Shakur has a kind of style that could be kryptonite for Teofimo. He's very defensive, you know, considerably better defensive. I think it's more substance with Shakur, more flash with Teo. I think it's substance with Teo as well because the kid can flat out go. He can fight, make no mistake. But I think Core's smarter. I think obviously he make less mistakes. Teo not being the biggest of punchers up there at 40. I just don't see him having that kill shot. I think it'll be an entertaining fight. He's very athletic. He can test Shakur physically, push him mentally. He can do some things, man. He got speed, power. He got some good power. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't think he's no KO guy. Some things he can do really well in there to make it a tough fight for Core. You know, a good challenge. But I think ultimately skills pay the bills. And I just feel like Shakur is a lot more substance with his approach than what Teo's is. I think Teo could be outboxed if you keep him on the front foot, if he got to go get you, if he got to find you in there. You present a moving target, changing levels. The things that Core can do, make you miss, make you pay. I don't think Teo will be able to over-rely on the athleticism, but I think it could be a competitive fight all the way through. You know what I mean? I think Shakur really have him asking, do I still got it at the end of the fight? I really feel like that. I think he'd be pissed off. I'm telling you, Shakur, about do I still got him? I'm telling you, I posted that on Twitter, Aunt McQueen. I'm like, I think he'll beat him. Yeah. You get me, Thrill Hill? Think about how Sandor fight and just think about the level of Shakur and how he can emulate the same things that Sandor did, that Jermaine Ortiz did, but with more efficiency, I think. You know what I'm saying? I really do. You know what I mean? But it won't be no easy fight because Teo ain't no easy guy. We seen him when he get in there with somebody of substance, he raises his level. And if he does that with Shakur, we got a great fight on our hands. But I just think Shakur do a lot of little things the right way. You know what I mean? And it's holes in Teo's game that he'll be able to exploit for sure. I think he'll be able to exploit some of them holes in his game. I really do. You know what I'm saying? All that playing around that Teo like to do, I think that should have backfired in a big way. You know what I mean? Shakur, you got to be smart, bro. Me either, Hannibal, man. I just don't think he'll take the fight ultimately. I think he'll come up with reasons or excuses to why it won't happen. And then he's going to start calling out somebody else. Maybe he'll start calling somebody else at 140, maybe Hitchens or something like that. But I ain't tripping because Teofimo is at a weight class where it's other top guys that you got Antoine Russell, you got Richardson Hitchens, you got Puello, Matias, you got all this smoke for Teo. So all he doing is boxing himself in, right? You turn down Matias, you turn down Haney, you flirting with a Shakur fight that you're more than likely not going to take. You're going to have to do something at some point. That's a fact, too, since he did. To beat Shakur, you need a clear talent, physical advantage. I like that, Roger. I rock with that, bro. I think you're right. I think you're right. I think Bruce beats Teo, but not Shakur. I ain't tripping, Roland. That's cool. You just gotta keep in mind, rolling with the punches. Teo lost to Kambosos. He got outboxed and dropped by Sandor Martin. He should have lost that fight. I don't like triangle theories much, but I don't think Sandor is nearly the kind of fighter that Shakur is. I don't think Kambosos is nearly the fighter that Shakur is. Imagine Shakur Stevenson fighting Kambosos, George Kambosos, bro. Imagine that shit. Imagine it. Imagine what he'd do. Kambosos won't win a fucking round, bro. He'll get washed from the time the opening bell till he quit. I think his corner has stopped the fight. For real, for real. Cause I think Corey have a field day with Kambosos. I really do. He ain't punching hard enough to make Corey wary. I think he'll punish him. And I ain't saying just because Kambosos beat him that Shakur beats him for sure. But I'm mad because it's at 140 different weight class. Shakur ain't never been there. You're gonna have to adjust, right? But I just don't feel like nobody that allowed Kambosos to beat him is beating Shakur. And then yeah, I ain't just going off of one fight. You know, obviously the loss to Kambosos, that was wild. It's how he beat you. He ain't do nothing special. You know what I mean? Sandor Martin just boxed you and you struggled, knocked you on the ground. He had you looking bad. He just beat you, just was outsmarting you. Same thing with Jermaine Ortiz. Jermaine Ortiz was smarter than you, outboxing you. He had a game plan, make you box and move, keep you on the front foot, and limit your output. And that's what he did. He had him looking crazy. And all they did was complain about Jermaine Ortiz running. Shout out to Light. Appreciate you, bro. You already know, man. Yep. Different levels, man. So just keep in mind, he lost it. And it's not just the losses that the guys that he struggled with, I don't believe is on Shakur's level. Even Nakatani has some size that probably gave Teo issues, but he complained immediately about not fighting tall guys. Like, he's been tested on a number of different occasions. I've seen inconsistencies in his approach and his performances, multiple. I got multiple examples. I just think Shakur is a more consistent round by round type of fighter, more consistent performer, make less mistakes, and he's just smarter and better, and overall just better. But Teo's athleticism will keep the fight interesting, his speed and different things like that. He can be creative when he wants to be, when he ain't showboating or playing too much, right? But Teo got some. He got some fight game, man. That kid can fight, yo. It won't be no easy fight for nobody, yo. It ain't gonna be easy to beat him. It wasn't easy for Kambosos to beat him. It wouldn't be easy for Shakur. Even though I feel Shakur is the better fighter, for sure, you still got to go out there and earn it. And Teo is one of the best fighters in boxing. So see how real I am, no matter how I feel like with the tyrant that he went on and running his mouth and saying the disrespectful stuff. I held him accountable for that stuff. But in terms of talent inside the boxing ring, at the top of his game, Teofimo is fun to watch, and he be in there cooking. The man has talent. But I think because of the limitations of his father and the fact that they won't make a trainer change, I think that will hinder him overall. Now, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong about that. They've been very successful with his father, so the proof is in the pudding. And they've had a very successful career. So maybe he's just going to find a way to win despite not having more or a different trainer in his corner. But I think at the highest level, when things get the roughest, I think that's when he won't be able to over-rely on the athleticism, and he'll need the instruction from his dad that he might not be able to give him. That's just me. Don't think his dad is a bad trainer or nothing like that. I don't think he's a trash trainer, but I just think he comes with some limitations. And I think the fact that he won't let nobody near him could potentially hinder him in the future. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like they don't let him work with nobody. Then when he was working with Canelo kicked him out of camp. I heard they brought in a different trainer once upon a time, but it's him and his pops butted heads, so they kicked dude out of camp. So I don't know. It is the way he act. Yeah. His dad is an idiot, but he can be decent. But a lot of times he show that ignorant side, man. So just get weird, bro. It get weird. But yeah, man, if him and Shakur can fight, I would love to see it. I gotta get Core back on here. Hopefully I catch him when he get a minute. We're gonna try to build again, have another good dope conversation. You're just gonna keep building, y'all. Hit that like button if you haven't. This was an unexpected but dope build. Like I said, somebody sent this to me, and y'all know how we do over here. We react to these things in real time. So that's what we did tonight. Shout out to the Exodus Files, man. Everybody that's out there, making content with integrity before the narrative, man. Integrity over views always, bro. Let's continue to build boxing up and give it its just due. One build at a time. This was another episode of Just Do After Dark. Appreciate y'all rocking out with me, man. everybody that stayed to the end. This was a good conversation, man. We always here to learn. Like I said, you know, I understand Victor Conte gonna have people that question him for as long as he's within the sport, but you just got to pay attention and make sure that we're not unjustly accusing and labeling fighters of being dirty steroid cheats, and then while celebrating guys that have cheated in the sport and got caught doing it. So be suspicious, be on point, stay vigilant, do your own research, always do your own homework, look, get your own information out. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't take nobody's word for it. Go double check, triple check, fact check everything. My whole reason for coming here tonight is not only to react to this video, but use it as a teachable moment to show y'all the difference between somebody that love the sport and somebody that like a juicy narrative that was put together well. You know, a lot of people watched it, a lot of views and shit like that. Not, you know, stuff like that, get that type of viewership, but it take a real person to come up here every day and give these fighters the credit that they truly deserve versus pushing narratives and coming up with hit pieces or, you know, all these reasons why these guys are not good. Like, think about it. As a community, we shouldn't spend hours on end discussing why some of the absolute most accomplished and most proven fighters in the world are not, in fact, who they shown you they are. If a fighter is showing you who they are, believe them. We know amongst the boxing circles that Devin Haney put that work in. The same thing with Crawford. You get what I'm saying? So we should applaud them for the work that they put in and just leave it at that. Yeah, you could say, man, I rock with your dad, but damn, man, you ain't have to rock with Victor Conte, man. I'm going to always be suspicious. That's cool, but that don't mean you got to wake up and be like, nah, you know, get Snack out of boxing. They're dirty. And then there's all these people that's on Snack that's putting it in their body is telling you the reasons they use it and what it do, and people are not willing to accept information. They just got this, you know, predetermined outcome of what Snack is and how it's bad and it's some type of unfair use. But I just don't see nobody being able to really prove that case. They got a couple of scenarios to help them make a case, but other than that, we got a one wild witch hunt. We got good fighters' names being tarnished and dragged in the mud for the sake of viewership, clicks, and engagement in this nasty work. I stand with Terrence Bud Crawford and Devin Haney as clean fighters because ain't no PD test, ain't no test ever came back positive with them with any banned substances. So it's not that hard to understand. And if you really rock with boxing, then you understand where I'm coming from. So that's all. And I'll give every single fighter within the sport the same grace. If I have no proof that you've cheated, I can't wake up and get on the YouTube channel and say it. And for the record, y'all, 4.9, I think it was. They voted on this. Who wins? Teofimo or Shakur? 59% said Shakur, 41% said Teo. The people of YouTube know, man. YouTube boxing know they stuff, man. They know they stuff, man. But I swear, if we can see that fight, let's see it. If not, Core, you at 35. Keep being great. I got Shakur over everybody. If you can beat them, beat them. Win, lose, or draw. I'm supporting all of these guys. I support all clean fighters until proven otherwise. Let's make sure we're not tearing these fighters down, giving them, you know, make sure we continue to give them a fair shake because that's what they deserve. Shout out to the Queen, Lisa. Appreciate you, man. Follow the sport. Don't follow the fight. I like that, Jose. That's a fact, bro. You know what I mean? And follow the money. The money will tell you a lot of times, too. You know what I mean? Be it with unclean spirits working with others trying to bring you. That's a fact, bro. Over here, we just want to stay positive. Try to use this platform to build up the sport of boxing, have good conversations, and build, man. So with that, man, I appreciate everybody rocking out tonight. Y'all make sure y'all enjoy the rest of this night, and we'll be back tomorrow. I think we got another video that we could react to from the Exodus files about some steroid stuff, but we're just going to keep it going. We're going to keep learning. We're going to keep pushing out good content and reacting to these videos and talking this good boxing. So with that, enjoy the rest of this good Sunday night. I'll see all of y'all tomorrow, and we're going to build on some more boxing. Peace to the...
Representing Brick City, Shakur! Finding those levels, too. Look at that four-punch combination.
It's a masterclass right now from Shakur Stevenson. That's what you're seeing. A masterclass. And Shakur leads him with a straight left hand.
Oh, there's a knockdown scored with the left hand.
Probably the most unbiased channel on YouTube.
Right now, we're gonna get him in Just Do. Shout out to my brother Just Do.